And the other side of this is wiring. So wiring can be a little bit confusing at first, but once you know what you're doing and you know what you're trying to tap into, it's not hard at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how my gauges are set up in here. So what you want to look for is a 12 volt switched power, meaning when you turn the key, that's when power goes to them. So when I turn my key, gauges come on, stuff like that. And that's just for basic gauge functionality. Now I have it set up for white. These are white and green gauges. So when I turn this on and turn my headlights on, switched headlight power. Now the Prosport Evo gauges that I got for the RX-8 are blue and red. Let's see, for the daytime running light things, which will be just switch power, I'll have them set up for red. And according to the Racing Beat instructions, you just tap into the wiring for this cigarette lighter thing, because that is switched power. There is another one back in there, but that's constant power. You do not want to have a constant power go into your gauges because they're going to be on 100% of the time. And that's not a good thing because that drains battery. But you should be seeing a picture of the instructions for the Racing Beat install stuff, which a link for that will be in the description below. Check that out. But yeah, I'm going to tap into that for the switch power, but I'm going to have to figure out where the switched headlight power I'm going to tap into is. I'm not too, well, I guess I could say I'm pretty familiar with Series 2 electronics and stuff like that, but I have not had to tap into switched headlight power. But I mean, that's how you turn the headlights and stuff on. So I got to figure out what wire goes to that, and when I do that, then I can do all that stuff. Okay, so just got home from work, and now I'm just gonna show you a little bit of testing the gauges for make sure they get power, that they turn on and stuff like that, and go over a little bit of the sensor wiring and stuff like that, and using the RX-7 as an example. So here you see a big ass mess of wires and stuff, and it's okay to be scared at first, but once you know what you're looking at and what the colors mean, and you have these instructions, which you can also find online on Prosport's website, it's not all that bad. So here it gives you a basic rundown of what it's for. This one is for the oil pressure gauge, and just tells you a bunch of different things like what's what and whatnot, like sensor wiring and things like that. Color options, these are blue and red gauges, so you can have them set up to run only blue, only red, blue and red, or red and blue, or whatever. Daytime running lights, which is the constant power going to whatever light. It just stays like that till you turn the lights on. And then let's see, wire instructions and stuff like that. This is just detailed information on what wire and color does what. Okay, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just show you how to test for, in this case, red. So I have all the negatives just bunched together and hooked up to the negative battery terminal. And I have all the red and orange wires, which is for, the orange is for red, and hook that up to this guy. Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, so of course we're not going to be reading anything or any information. You're just going to flash like that. But that means that they turn on red. Now, according to the instructions, if I wanted to have them come on blue with the headlights and stuff like that, let's see. So here you'll see it says daytime and nighttime. For daytime, I want to be running red, so right there, and then nighttime blue with the lights on. Let's see, white, connect the headlight. So for blue, it will be the white wires. Okay, and just really quick, just showing them all changing at the same time. Oh, oops. Okay, now what I'm doing is just shrink wrapping the wires to separate them and clean them up. So here I got my power wire done, and I was just gonna do just one piece of shrink wrap the whole way through, but I found it a little bit easier to cut it in sections. So in this case, 3 sections. One right here, that ends right here from here, and all the way down here, and then just a little finishing piece down here. And so I'm gonna do that for, of course, the power wires, ground wires, and the switch headlight stuff. But the sensor wiring, actually I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with that. Might try to look into doing like a butt connector type thing, and then shrink wrap them all together and then plug them into one thing, or just have them all separate and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a quick, easy way to get this center piece off. So get a razor blade, preferably with a dull edge like that. And you're just going to get it wedged in on either side to start, so it could pop up a corner. Leverage it up. Same with the other side. That side went back down. Gloves would be a good safety tip. Yep. And boom, it's out. Then you just got this little, I was told this is a microphone for stuff, but you can just get that out of the way. Then you got your speaker here. I don't know what speaker that actually is, but all the like excess meat and stuff I gotta cut out of here, so I'll be able to mount my gauge stuff. Anyway, it's pretty much as simple as that. God damn, that's fucking hot. Yes, gloves would help very much here. Alright, then you gotta, of course, take this off so you can get down here to this stuff. So, of course, you gotta take all this shit off. Put that off to the side. This stuff all comes off pretty fucking easily. Off just like that. Then you got a couple of Phillips screws there. Okay, so it was just those 2 screws and this pulls right out, no problem. But anyway, just testing this to 100%, make sure that it is a good 12-volt power source. So the big yellow wire is your power wire, and then the black and red one is ground. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick test. Come right on, no problem. Ah, shit, keep losing focus. So that works. So I can move on. Okay, so it looks like these wires have been tapped into before, as they had these little things on. I'm guessing from when one of the previous owners had a sound system or something in here. But I don't think I want to reuse these. I've never seen any that look like this before, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, so you gotta take this out, and then I can start cutting all this extra meat out, and yeah, I'll start fishing these wire things through. Okay, so just finished getting all the meat out of that top center console area, and you may cringe really bad at this, but yeah, if it works, it works. Okay, so most of this I actually couldn't see what I was doing. I was just tearing as much shit as I could out. So all over there and like over here, and I also had to cut this off. It basically just mimicking what I did with this piece over here. Didn't need to cut right there, or I didn't cut over there, but right here I didn't need to cut, but I did need to clearance this and this off over here, and then just, you know, all the little bits around here, cutting off the mounting points for the speaker, and of course for the little microphone thing, whatever that is. And well, let's go ahead and just do a bit of a test fit. This doesn't have any of the wiring in, of course, and you know, like I said in a previous clip, probably redo a second version of these. And like all the shit on the gauge faces, I mean, that will go away when I take the protective covers on. But that's how it looks from here. I'm not too big of a fan of the angle of the gauges, but I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. Let's get it out of the car view. Yeah, so that's how that looks. And again, not perfect. I mean, I guess I could go back through and try and clean up those edges a little bit. But I just, from outside the car, it looks fairly decent. I'm happy with it. Okay, so this is how I'm going to attempt to feed the wiring through the dash. So just have a piece of electrical tape wrapped around all the wiring ends that go into the gauges themselves. I'm going to go up and through here, which should be a straight shot to that center console area. And from there, I'll be able to feed my wiring under the dash here, over to this area, and you know, whatnot. And then when I get to that point, I will start recording again. Okay, wires fed through, and let's see. So if you're doing this stuff and feeding it this way instead of, you know, these ends through the top to the bottom, then let's see. You really want to know which gauge went to what. Now, if you're smart, unlike me, you would have labeled these or something like that to know which ones they are. But instead, I just remember the colors and stuff like that. Let's see, the one for oil pressure will always have this brown wire, and what is it, 6 wires total? And then the rest of them have about 5 wires. So these are for temperatures. Either of these could be interchanged with each other, as long as you know which of these green wires goes to what, because that's your sensor wire. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect those to the gauges, and then you know, the gauge pod will be finished being installed. Then I'll just have to hook it up to power, and then, you know, wire them to the sensors and stuff like that. So the only one of which I have is the oil pressure currently. But going to meet in about an hour, so probably just gonna be a ricer with a non-functional set of gauges for tonight. Whatever. Okay, so I did this already with the negative wire, whatever. But I just took a RX-8 dipstick and well, just taped it to the end, hooking it through here, just through this area, and just gonna pull it on through. Well, that was a fucking fail, wasn't it? Try again. Get that more up here. This more open area, so it gets through further. And it's just about there. And there we go. Then what I'm going to use is one of these guys. It seems to work a little bit better than just cutting and crimping wires. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so just going to go ahead and do a quick test, make sure that they're getting ACC power just fine when I turn the key. In the on position. It's like all 3 are functioning. Turn it off, and it goes off the car. We're at our local weekly Saturday night meet thing, so I'm gonna do that for the rest of the night, and then probably pick up a little bit more tomorrow and do some other stuff. So yeah.